having a baby, and you're growing up, you're maturing, and you're coming about yourself, and I've got the love back now, and I feel like Unified Promotions has gave me that back. I've got the love back. I want to go, and I do want to make my son proud, and my husband and my family. Like, that's the most important thing. Like, there's no better feeling of people being proud of you.
We have interviews from female fighters from all around the world, as well as interviews and videos from press conferences and fight predictions. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Hi everyone, I'm Sasha from Women's Fight News, and I'm joined by Kristina O'Hara. Kristy, how are you?
I'm good, feeling very good. How are you?
Yes, I'm not too bad. Thanks. The sun's shining today for the first time in about 3 weeks, so I'm quite happy.
Yeah, it's not too bad over here either, actually. It's a bit cloudy, but it's not raining, thankfully.
Yeah. Whereabout are you based?
I'm in Belfast.
Yeah, I love Belfast. I've only been once. I think I went for a week. Well, I was meant to go for about 2 days. I think I ended up staying about 5. Yeah, love it there.
Yeah, it's lovely over here. Like, if you live here, it's not much to do, but if you're visiting, obviously there's plenty to do.
So, yeah, exactly.
It's nice. I like it.
You recently signed with Unified Promotions, so congratulations, because that's so exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. A new journey, a new start. I was talking to somebody the other day as well, and I was explaining like how much I've actually got the love back for boxing again. Going through your amateur career, you're doing it because it's something that you want to do. So where now it's a new desire. So you've just signed this new contract, and you've a 3-year whatever, and it's all looking good. And I'm excited, like I am. It's a new start, as I say, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and it's the perfect time because not only is women's boxing just booming, but obviously Unified Promotions is new. So you're at the very beginning of this journey as well.
Yeah, well, that's it. I just can't wait really to get under the lights, and I've been out of the ring maybe 3 years. So I had a baby, and had to get myself together after that, and now I've just, as I say, I finally have the love back. I lost the love for a while, after like the thing about the Olympics. I was training, and I was flat out 100% going for the Olympics, and they changed the qualifying process, so that then just put that out for me. So I feel like when the opportunity to turn pro came to me was after the Olympics. I always thought about it, like going and being world champion and doing that, but it was never something I was firm on. It was just like, right, if this doesn't work out, there's always the option of pro. So now, as I say, when the right opportunity came knocking on the door, like, it's not something that you pass down. It's time now to get the head down and get stuck in and go and do what I want to do in boxing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm a big believer everything happens for a reason, but it must have been heartbreaking when obviously the whole thing with, COVID and then the Olympics, like mentally, how was that for you? How was it to deal with it?
Well, at the time, as I say, we were in full-time training. We were in full camp. We were ready to go, and we were training for it. So you have to obviously win your nationals. So we were in training for the nationals, and then the elites got cancelled because of COVID. Then it I still thought I would have had a chance, depending on which way the qualifiers were going to go. At least then I maybe would have got a box off or something along the lines to get me back in, for a chance to go for them. But then they changed it, and I think it went then where they were doing, what was it? They were going for that you had to be ranked in the top 10. And obviously with me being inactive then for the last at the time it was 2 years, that I wouldn't have been in, I wouldn't have fallen in that category. So it just sort of put a big dampener. And as I say, I lost the love. I was like, every single time, like, something is to happen, it gets shut down for me. So just with this new opportunity and having a baby, and you're growing up, you're maturing, and you're coming about yourself, and I've got the love back now, and I feel like Unified Promotions has gave me that back. I've got the love back. I want to go, and I do want to make my son proud, and my husband and my family. Like, that's the most important thing. Like, there's no better feeling of people being proud of you. You know, even if it's just somebody just saying, "Oh, fair play to you, I'm proud of you," it means everything. You know.
Yeah,
So
completely agree with
it was
that.
very hard, like it was. I mean, but as they say, when one door closes, another door opens. So the Olympics were took away, but then something else was put on my plate, and I'm delighted with that.
Yeah, that's it. Like I say, you've got to see the positives, because I mean, I felt awful for so many people like yourself who were looking to go to the Olympics, and it was just hard. Like, I was heartbroken for all of you. So I was like, can't imagine how you all feel, because I mean, how long was you an amateur boxer for? Because you had a very successful amateur career.
I did, yeah. I was boxing from I was 11, so probably what am I, 25? So yeah, long
Long
time.
time.
Long time. Yeah, just every day. I never missed a day in the gym. You know, I was always there. I was always showing up, and I was always putting the work in. So it just, I don't know what it is, and I don't know why, but it feels different now. You know, and probably with having the baby, and you know, things not really going well for me in the amateurs. I do have a brilliant amateur record, but it just, after the Olympics, I just felt like it was me. I was ready to move on. You know, I'd done everything that I could have done as an amateur. The Olympics might have been just the icing on the cake for me, you know, but that didn't happen. So now we're starting from scratch again. Basically, you know, you start from the start, you work your way up, and so it is going to be very, very difficult, especially with having, you know, a young son too, and so they're all just wee things through in there, you know, that we minor setbacks along the way, but the baby's in creche now, so we're able to get it. I know, heartbreaking. So we're able to get into our full-time training, and we're in hard camp, so exciting.
Yeah. So how old's your son?
He's 1.5. He'll be 2
Oh.
in January. Yeah.
Oh, so how hard? Because I mean, being a mother must just be the world's hardest job, and then to be a boxer as well as that. Like, how do you juggle everything?
Sort of at the start, like I was in the gym 8 weeks after Kiefer was born, 8 weeks after emergency C-section. You know, again, just when it's all really new to you, you don't know how to like juggle being a mum. And at the time, I wasn't really interested in competing again. I just wanted to be back in the gym. I was obviously eventually going to compete again, but at that time, I was just thinking about getting to the gym and showing up, and you know, being present. It is, even now, like we've have to have started a whole new routine now because Kiefer's in creche. So now it's like, right, wake up in the morning, get the baby fed, get him dressed, put him down for his nap, and then I got to get ready to go to the gym. And when he wakes up, then I have to bring him down to creche. And once he's in creche, then I have to go down to the gym, and I'm 2 hours in the gym. And then I'm going to pick him up after, and then he's going to my mum so we can do my second session, you know. So at the minute, it's kind of a blur trying to juggle everything. But we're getting there. We're getting there. It's all positive, you know. The good thing is that he is in creche, and it allows me that time to be firmly in the gym and to be getting my head down and training without that worry of, oh, I gotta get home because he's probably crying from my mum, or you know, he's probably acting a maggot, and I have to get home. It's just that anxiety of like, is he okay? Whereas I know, like, obviously I know he's going to be okay either way. You know, he's with either my mum or now my aunt, or he's in creche. So it takes that bit of worry off. You know, that he is there. So still quite difficult, you know, finding the energy. He still doesn't sleep through the night. A year and a half, and he still doesn't sleep through the night. So it can be. There's days where you just don't want to do it. You wake up and I'm exhausted already. Like, I'm tired tomorrow already. And then it's just the same thing every day. You know, you got to wake up, keep the baby in his routine more than anything. You know, and we're all adjusting to this new sort of phase that's came in. So, but it's all seeming very good at the minute, very positive. This is the main thing. And he seems to be loving it. You know, they're sending me pictures of him, and he's beaming from ear to ear, and he's happy to be there, which obviously makes me a bit more content too.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, God love him as
Uh,
well. How
I
exciting
know.
for him.
He's only
Oh,
started too. Like he's still only there. He's still only there a week, so it's still all very fresh for him. But he seems to be really loving it, so that's good.
yeah, and like you say, gives you a bit of peace of mind then as well, knowing that where he is, he's happy, and then you can
Yeah,
fully focus on your training for them couple of hours.
yeah, 100%. It has been good knowing that he's somewhere and I'm not worrying about him. Obviously as a parent, you're always going to worry no matter what, but at the same time, he's in good hands. So that does take a wee bit of stress off you.
Yeah, definitely. And has it put things in perspective? Because I've spoke to like a few, especially boxers who are parents, and I always think, obviously, until you have like your son, for instance, everything would be focused on, say, boxing. Like that is your whole life, that's your world. But now you've got something so much more important.
That's a second. Doesn't
Yeah.
really matter that much. Second, obviously I've always been a family person. Family means more than everything to me. And, you know, just your baby has to come first no matter what. Your family always comes first, and um it just sort of puts things into perspective. Boxing means everything to me right now, but it wouldn't be worth if it was having an impact on my son. You know what I mean? So at the minute, I'm able to do the both of them and make the both of them my priority, but Kiefer's always going to be number one, no matter what.
Yeah. And I always think it's quite healthy as well to have that like perspective, because
Mm-hmm.
obviously you want to put everything into your sport. But I think sometimes it can go for certain people like over the top, and they kind of lose sight of, the love of it for sure, and like why they really started the sport. So I think at least with that,
Yeah.
like you say, it's everything's in perspective for you then.
Well, I think for me personally, like I know that I'm doing it for my son, and he's the reason that I love the sport again. You know, I want to make him proud more than anything. So, like 10 years down the line, like when my son's old enough to actually understand, you know, and he'll go, "My mommy was a champion." Like I even get like really emotional even thinking about that. And hopefully I can take him into the trip with me. His daddy's my coach, so he's born and bred in the boxing family. So you know, it is something that really wakes you up to the idea of wanting to be the best for him. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose when you're on like it's a Friday evening, you're on your last training session, you need that bit more motivation to think of
Yeah,
your son. I suppose you can get it through you.
yeah, well,
So your husband's your trainer, isn't he?
yeah, yeah. Big Jordy.
How on earth does that work?
Do you know what? I get asked this question constantly. I don't know. When we're at home, we're husband and wife, we're a family. When we go into the gym, we're boxer coach. And no matter what's going on at home or what's going on in life, in our lives in general, when we're in the club, we're boxer coach, and he treats me like his boxer rather than my wife. He does not tiptoe around me in the slightest. If I've had one of those nights where I'm up all night and Kiefer was upset, or if I go down to the gym and I'm exhausted, it doesn't matter. You're here to put the work in. That's it. You can rest when you go home. You know. But when we make it work, yeah, Jared is. I've worked with the best coaches all around the world. I've been in the game a very, very long time. And I know what it takes for a coach, and he has exceeded expectations on every level. You know, um, he's brilliant. Obviously, he's a brilliant dad, and he's a brilliant coach too. So, I mean, it does. He understands me. He being boxer coach and husband and wife. He knows who I am. He knows me. So it does like give him a bit of perspective into. I know you're tired, love, but we're here to work. And he's always said to me from day dot, like when we walk into the gym, I'm not your husband. You don't even know me. I'm your coach, and we're here to work. So we try our best. There is times where it's hard. It's very difficult. If you're in training and you do something, maybe you do something that he doesn't like, and It's really hard to separate husband coach. You know, for me personally, I don't know what way he thinks about it, but for me, it's very difficult to separate the two. But we make it work, and I mean, we're training together a long time now, so maybe 6 years, 7 years. So, we're very familiar with each other, and we take into consideration what kind of day the other persons have, but we both understand that we're here to do a job, you know. So it works. Seems to work.
Yeah, clearly works. And I suppose you're not going to find anyone else who cares for you as much as well. So that's a huge positive.
That's the thing. Like having your husband there, you know, even at home, you know, he's making sure that you're getting the right rest. He's making sure that you're doing what you need to do, and still at the same time, he's just making sure that all your ducks are in a row, no matter what. You know, I never need to worry about home life because I know that he's always got my back at the end of the day. You know, so we are good. We're solid. Like, I mean, we're on the right road and we're doing what needs to be done. So if like there is times where I'm getting up and down my stairs from like 5 a.m, you know, and he's coming down with me and he's making sure that, you know, I'm not doing everything by myself. So that's pretty good to have that support there even at home as well, you know. And I do have a lot of support. Like, I mean, my parents are absolutely phenomenal. You know, they go above and beyond for me and for my family, and my aunt as well. Before Kiefer was in creche, she would have took him a few days a week for me to get to the gym, and he was kind of being passed about. You know, my mummy was taking him, my sister was taking him, or my aunt was taking him, and even George's parents were taking him. You know, so he was being passed about an awful lot, and it just didn't sit well with me. So I needed to get, before I could like fully commit to what I wanted to do, I needed to make sure that he was in a positive routine. And for me, that, like, going from other people just wasn't. It was amazing, and I loved having the help, but he needed a good solid routine, you know. So now that he's in that, I'm so much more relaxed, you know.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. But it's great to have that support, because I think people around you obviously make your life, but your journey so much easier as well. And I think a big thing in boxing in general is, I'm seeing it quite a bit at the minute, is not having the right people around you, whether it's management, promotion, coaches. There's a lot that goes on. So I mean, if you've got your husband in your corner, it doesn't get better than that.
That's the good thing. Like, I never had to change much, you know. Like, my routine will still be the same, and you know, having my husband as my coach as well, you know, nothing's changed for me. So it's not overly dramatic to have to get set into this whole new scenery. You know, everything's the same. We're working as hard as we've always worked, and we're putting in the things that need to be done at the minute. So I know a lot of people as well who have had just despicable people in their lives while trying to become this big thing, and it just hasn't worked out, you know. But it's, in boxing, 90% of what you do is to be surrounded by positive people who bring good influence into your life, you know, and I have that. I have 100% that, you know. So it's a positive for me.
Yeah, definitely. And you'll enjoy your journey even more then as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So obviously you've signed with Unified Promotion. So when are you looking to get your first fight then?
Nothing has really been finalised yet. As what I know is it's looking like October. It's looking like round about October, mid-October, early October, somewhere in there. So, well, we're ready to go. If I got the phone call tomorrow, say you're on a plane next week, I'm away. Yeah. You know, we're ready to go.
Yeah. What weight are you going to fight at?
Minimum weight. I think that's around the 47.5 kilo mark. I don't really know like the weights in the professional boxing because it's still all really new to me, but I know that it's minimum. It'll be minimum weight.
Yeah. Okay.
I know so don't look it. No, don't look it. Like a flyweight.
Definitely not. But yeah, so there's not, I mean, domestically there's not a ton at that weight, but there's a lot. I mean, you're looking at like there's loads of Mexicans at that weight, and
there's always like at world level. There is a lot at the weight, but in terms of like European level or then there's not really a lot there. And I'm open to the idea of maybe taking fights at different weights to get me to get me moving up there. I make my weight handy. I always box as a 48 kilo boxer. So, and I've always made the weight no problem. So to do minimum weight was perfect for me. I was able to still do what I'm doing and be able to make the weight with no problems. So if it comes to it and you have to take weights at maybe the next division up, I would have no problem with that either. So we'll see what comes to us.
Yeah, suppose you can always eat more then as well. So
yeah, well, that's obviously always a bonus. But I walk around at minimum weight. Like I walk around maybe 2 kilo at the most over my fight weight. Which is perfect for when coming down to your weight. So I've never had no issues with it, like, ever.
Yeah. So you're not going to be drained out.
Yeah. I remember it was my first Irish title fight, and I think I was weighing in something like 36 kilo. I maybe like 11 or 12, 30 or 32 could have been, 34, but I was 3 kilo under the weight. And I remember me and my coach at the time, Harry, it was really funny. So I went and got weighed in, and they were like, "You're too late. Like you need to go and eat." And I remember going, and I was putting phones in my tracksuit bottom in my pockets and shoving baguettes and sausages and anything I could have got my hands on into my mouth. And so I remember actually eating it and nearly being sick and all. It was terrible, like being too light for the weight. It's so funny. I'm still sort of need to put the weight on a wee bit.
Yeah, boxers will envy you for that though.
I know. Well, that's a long time ago now. Like getting older, it starts to be a wee bit different.
Yeah.
But no problems with the weight, and I'm just super excited. Like I'm just raring to go. Like I don't really have much words to say. I'm buzzing. I am. I'm looking forward to it. Like it's a new thing. Everybody loves the idea of something new, and to be new with this much like positivity. There's so many opportunities out there for me, and it's up to me now to get in the ring and do the business and get up there in the world.
Yeah. So what are your like long-term goals in boxing? What are you wanting to achieve in the sport?
Anything, everything that I can get my hands on. I want to be the best, and I want to be world champion. I always had the dream of being a world champion. Obviously, every boxer wants to be a world champion, and I think now I'm at the stage where I want it the most, and I want to go and I want to do it, and I've been putting the work in hard for it. So, I mean, trying to juggle everything is really, really difficult, but we know what we want to do, and we know I know my potential, and I know where I could bring myself. So that's the main thing. Like everybody can do the work behind the scenes for you, but it's up to you at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's been amazing to talk to you. I think it's so interesting as well. I mean, especially how you juggle everything. I've just got so much respect for you and how you manage to get by day to day, because I struggle with the basics, so I don't know how you do it all.
I always remember somebody told me whenever I had first started back again that just because they're not important steps to other people, but they're important to you, and a small step to somebody else could mean the world to one person, so you just have to be humble in what you're doing, and you gotta do what you do and put the work in, and it takes you where you want to go. So no matter what you're doing, it's always enough,
Yeah.
It's
the hard work pays off.
You have to have, even if like I think I listened to a podcast the other day where it says people who don't train and don't put the work in and lose will still think that they should be winning, but winners who overtrain and work so hard still think that they're not doing enough, which is pretty important, like, because there's times where I'm completely exhausted and I'm going like, I should be doing this and I should be doing that, but like, I know I should be resting and taking the correct steps in terms of training ways, because you got to reach your peak at a certain time. Right now, I'm where I need to be. Come October, I will be hitting my peak. So it's all about your steps and how you manage to do it in the right ways, to build yourself up to be ready to get in and do 4 round, 6 round, 8 round, whatever it may be. You got to be reaching the peak at the correct times. So right now I'm at where I need to be. So and I'm comfortable, I'm confident, and I'm ready to let the world see me.
Yeah, because that's also a good point as well. I think some people just think like, when you're training, you train it simple, but there is so much science that goes into it. Because like you say, if you peak halfway through a camp, well, that's no good because you're going to be shocking on the night.
No, which is another good thing about having, your husband as your coach. Like he's like, I was an example, like the other day, I had said to Jared, right, well, sure, we can get that spar, we'll go ahead and take it. And he's going, like, I think it was what he said was, your coach knows best. And right now, you need your rest. And you have to listen to me on this. So I did. And it just proves, though, you got to take the right steps. And there's nobody better to do it than your husband. Because if Jared wasn't my coach, I probably would have took the spar and probably would have been taking all the unnecessary steps. But because he's there and he's at home with you as well, we're doing everything together. So it's pretty good that way. Like, and Jared comes from a big family, a big boxing family too. Like Jared's daddy was an Olympian, so which was a big thing with the Tokyo Olympics because Shawnee was 1964 Tokyo Olympics.
Wow!
So, the same weight, the same club, the same name, which was a really, really big thing for me. To be able to go and be Kristina O'Hara McCafferty and to be in the flyweight division in Tokyo, and we both boxed for St John Bosco. Like they were all wee things that were that really were like, yes, I'm going to do it, But yeah, and also Jared's uncle Jerry Hummel, he was a Commonwealth Games gold medalist. His brothers were all boxers, his uncles were all boxers. So he comes from a real positive boxing background in his family. So I think Keeper's not going to have a choice.
No, he is definitely going to be a boxer.
He's in it.
It's in his blood, so he's going to have to do it.
Well, that's it. So it's all pretty exciting.
Last question, because obviously, I know you've mentioned the Olympics. Obviously, even when you turn pro, there's always that option to go back into the Olympics. We saw Ramla Ali, for instance, do it this year. Hamadouche done it. Is that something that you would still possibly do if going to the Olympics was still a dream down the line?
I think it would be something to consider down the line. But right now, where I'm at, I'm just ready to dive straight into the program, and I'm just taking it all in. I'm not thinking too far down the line at the minute. I'm thinking about getting in and getting my debut over me, and just taking the steps as they come. And if it was something that was brought up to us somewhere down the line, maybe we would consider it. But right now, I'm focused on getting my debut over me and just taking it step by step. And I'm enjoying the moment. I'm enjoying this new thing, and I'm excited to see where it takes me. And if that could be the Olympics down the line, then that's something that we'll talk about come the time. But at the minute, I'm just happy being in the moment and just really embracing this new journey that I'm about to start. So maybe talking in 5 years, I might be a world champion.
Yeah. Well, I was also going to say that if you're a world champion, then you might think, actually, I'll just leave it. I don't need to go to the Olympics now. It's fine.
I think the idea of the Olympics has came and gone for me. But you never know. My opinion may change somewhere down the line. Obviously, the more fights, the better. The more experience, the better. And for me, I want to be fighting as much as possible. I want to be under the lights as much as possible. So, I mean, if that was something that was to be talked about, then I would be open to the conversation.
Yeah.
So,
well, you've got bigger things to think of at the minute. Obviously, you've hopefully got your debut coming up in October, and I'm really excited for that. I'm excited for their first few shows as well. In general, so they've signed some.
It's
some great
going to be
fighters.
amazing. So I think at the minute we have 3 now.
Yeah,
3 boxers signed with Unified Promotions, and this is only going to get bigger. See, the longer this goes on, and the more people are starting to be open to female boxing, and at the minute, female boxing really is taking off. you know, with Natasha Jonas and Katie Taylor, and you know, you have Savannah Marshall, and you have all the girls in England, and all the girls over here too. You know, it's taken off in a couple of years. You know, we never had that when we were kids. When I was boxing, it was, you're a boxer, but you're a girl. You know, go, you're up. But like now you're having it where it's actually being in conversation, you know, and that's amazing. Like it's, and I feel like Unified Promotions are going to take that, and they're going to take it to the very, very top. And there's going to be so many more females that are going to go, well, if she can do it, I can do it. And that's what we're here for. Ultimately, we're here to inspire other people to want to get in and want to do the work. And so I do obviously want to inspire the next generation of female boxers, even coming through at the minute. We have a good load of female boxers in our club, kids, just young kids, but you see them watching you, and even the boys too, you know, you see them watching you, and they're really taking in the things that you're saying and the things that you're doing. And for me, it's humbling to be able to sit back and be able to like inspire the next generation, you know. And it's just something that I'm really, really looking forward to. Female boxing is going to take off, and with the help of Unified Promotions and the help of the other women coming through at the minute, you know, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely the perfect time to like turn pro for sure. And this generation, so like all of your generation who are now pros, are just such big role models, because it's kind of the first time that, like you say, women's boxing is being talked about. It's becoming completely, I know there's still issues within it, but you know, it is becoming completely accepted. It's televised a lot more. So now all these little girls get to look at all of you. So can you imagine what it's going to be like in like 10, 15 years time?
Well, that's it. I think that's all I've ever wanted. Like from being a young age, is just being accepted as a boxer. You know, you go through all these struggles. Like, even when you're a kid, and kids are mean. Kids are just mean, and you have these other kids, and they're like, you're a boxer, but you're a girl. And even like so many times throughout my career, even still sometimes now, where men are just completely oblivious to the fact that women can fight. You know, and I'm not sparring her, I'm not hitting a girl, or this, and you know, you have all these chips that people throwing in their wee 50p's. Do you know what? Your 50p doesn't amount to much. We're here and we're doing it, and you know what? Our shows are going to be just as good, if not better, than the men. Yeah, you know, and because women always have a point to prove. You know, women don't just get into the ring because they want to be there. Women get into the ring with a statement. We are coming. We're all coming, and we're taking over. This is it. Yeah.
And this is it. This is why so many women's fights, I always say, are better than a lot of the men's. People think I'm biased.
We have a huge statement to make.
Yeah, because there's, and I think there's more pressure though, because I think women think, and at the minute, you kind of have to know that you have to put on a good performance, because if you don't, can you imagine the backlash from all these dinosaurs who don't think that, you know, women should be in the ring?
I know. I remember even as an amateur, going into other clubs, like my coach would have just rang and been like, right, I have a spar here, this is the weight, blah, 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 but never ever thought about saying, oh, she's a girl, or just completely made me feel like I was part of the team 100% from day dot. And then when you showed up the other clubs, the coaches were like, no, we don't do girls in here. We don't take girls. We turned you away. And used to go, I remember used to go into my coach, like, why? Like, what's the big deal? I'll bother him as well.
Yeah.
You know, it was so frowned upon, and to grow up in that, like, just to grow up in that environment where it wasn't accepted was really challenging. But you get the support. You know, my parents were always at me to be in the gym. You know, doesn't matter what people say. And you know, my daddy would always say, hard work, dedication. Doesn't matter what anybody says. If you're there and you're putting the work in, you'll be seen. You'll be seen for it. You know, and come time when you're under the lights, they can't deny you. So that was always sort of implanted in me from a young age. So now it's like we're finally getting somewhere. Daddy, I'm an adult now, but we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. Well, it is true. And you need such thick skin, I think, even still now. With some, I mean, if you're getting comments like that in the gym when you were younger, a lot of girls would have just been, I would have turned away, because you know, like a lot of girls would be like, oh, it's just not for me then, because it's that feeling of not being welcome. And that's obviously, and that still does need to change.
Yeah, well, I'm one of 7 siblings, so I mean,
Wow.
you have to have pretty thick skin when you're coming up my house with brothers and sisters. You know, I was getting my brother, my younger brother, Patsy and Connor, like they would have beat you up, no problem. We had the boxing gloves on in the kitchen from over no age. You know, my daddy coming in, can't you the box gloves only out of work, and he's coming in saying, right, go ahead, and you're getting stuck into each other. So yeah, you have to have pretty thick skin when you're in a house of that many people, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was something that you kind of go, looking back now, you go like, how did I stick up? Because I wouldn't stand for it now. You know, and it's something that I'm very firm on. It's just being able to just allow people to be who they are. And I'm a female professional boxer, and that's me, you know, and you can be who you are and you can do what you do. Like, I'm completely open to who people are, and who would I be to diminish somebody for doing something or being who they wanted to be. You know, I've never stopped anybody from thriving and who they are. And right now, this is my comfort zone. This is who I am, and this is where I'm at, you know. And it took a long time for me to actually be able to sit back and go, well, you know what, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to take it the whole way. And you're going to get people who are throwing shots at you from everywhere, no matter what you're doing. You know, you're always going to have that criticism, but it's how you take it and how you carry yourself through it, which means the most. You know, we laugh it off now, and I just go, well, you know what, in 5 years, I'm going to be a world champion. And where are you going to be? Still working where you're working, still doing the same thing, still having the same routine. You know, I'm here to do what's best for me. You know, you can laugh off the opinion of other people. Doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, because like you say, I think regardless of who you are, you're always going to get some negative comments and things, and it's how you take it. And like you say, you know, like you've just said, well, you'll be in a world champion in 5 years. So see what they're saying then. Yeah,
well, that's it, and it's something that I'm very firm on. Like, I'll always like stand up for, you know, for rights, for my own rights. Like, I went through it my whole life, and I'm not prepared to do it anymore. Like, to just hear like it's sexism, you know. Like, so because I'm a woman I can't do that. Like, it's crazy that people still think that way, you know. Women are amazing. Women are amazing. Like, the things that women have to go through, and men too, like, no doubt, but the things that women have to do. And I've seen every corner of what being a woman is. I'm a parent now, I'm a wife, you know, I have all the responsibilities, and I can do everything just the same, if not better, than what most people can do, you know. I'm a very confident person, and I'm confident in my sport and my abilities, you know, and I know I'll go the whole way. So I'm not going to let one person's opinion like take that away from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's the right attitude to have. Thank you so much for your time, and like I say, best of luck in October. So hopefully that all comes about. I hope it does, because I'm really excited.
I know, I'm really excited too. I can't wait. Thanks for your time. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to come on and speak. And obviously, I want to get as much publicity as possible, so I appreciate you reaching out to me.
No, anytime. And we'll catch up as well in the future and keep in touch. But like I say, best of luck, because I can't wait to see you on your debut.
I know, it's exciting.
Well, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy training.
You too. Oh no, I have to go now.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, ready for new content dropping all the time. Also, give Women's Fight News a follow on Twitter and on Instagram.